We are wrestling.
We are wrestling.
Don, D-O-N?
Dick, got it.
Make sure to subscribe, baby.
We are wrestling.
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host, the best one, Donnie, here with...
What is going on, guys? Ben here, 1/3 of We Are Wrestling. We are missing the other third, Huckins. He decided to sit this one out, but it's okay. Me and Don are going to take the reins today. Welcome back, guys, to another brand new episode of the talk show for We Are Wrestling. And with Summerslam approaching, we're going to be talking about some of our favorite moments, favorite matches throughout the years. So, Don, what's going on? Talk to me.
That's right, this week is SummerSlam week. The biggest blockbuster of the summer. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac, you are ready, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers. The best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like beach balls, and of course, you already know, the grind is real.
Oh, God.
And how are you feeling about SummerSlam this week?
Oh, dude, I genuinely can say I'm pretty fucking stoked. I'm pretty fucking excited. I think, this is it. This is going to be a big fucking thing. It's the hottest fucking party of the year. It's the hottest party of the year, period. So, with that being said, I'm absolutely stoked. We got some good matches coming up on that shit too, dude. Really fucking good matches.
Which, by the way, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs that are tuning in to the talk show this week, we will be doing a predictions video later on in the week before SummerSlam comes out, and we'll also be doing a watch-along. I will be at Ben's house, and we'll be streaming with Danny, and we will be doing a live watch-along to SummerSlam, baby.
Oh, dude, I'm so fucking excited.
And you know something? I have a great way to start this week's episode.
Let's fucking go. What you got for me, man?
Let's talk about some of, the nostalgia, some of the moments of us watching SummerSlam, because everybody has had their ways of watching SummerSlam. Either you had a party or, you kicked back and watched it. What were what was some of your favorite moments as a kid watching SummerSlam?
One of my favorite, all right, I don't know if this counts as a favorite moment, because this is kind of actually if anything, this is actually one of the most traumatizing moments, because, I didn't understand the barrier between, kayfabe. I didn't know what kayfabe was, obviously. So obviously you believed everything going in as a kid. You believe these storylines. You believe these people were fucking assholes, and you would genuinely get pissed, right? So
yep, John Cena was my childhood hero.
Absolutely. So this kind of collates in one of my favorite matches of all time in any SummerSlam, and that is the Rey Mysterio Eddie Guerrero ladder match for the custody of Dominic, 2005. Absolutely fantastic, and it stressed me the fuck out and traumatized me, because I genuinely thought that Eddie Guerrero was this dude's fucking dad, and I was stressing, dude. I almost broke and started fucking crying the Friday night before SummerSlam. I almost started fucking bawling, bro. I was genuinely upset.
Of Eddie out in the park.
I'm your papi. Fuck.
It's crazy.
They went
how they
bro.
got away with this shit,
dude.
Too.
They went fucking in for SummerSlam that year, dude. That SummerSlam for me has to be my favorite SummerSlam in general of all time, and a lot of my favorite matches were on that card. So you're gonna hear me repeat a lot. What about
watching it? So
feelings?
What about watching it? Your moment of watching this SummerSlam.
Oh,
because that's that was the question I was asking.
Okay, so you want to know what I was doing or how I was reacting and shit?
Yeah, your favorite time doing that. Everybody has their parties and stuff when they watch SummerSlam.
So I don't mean to get really dark here, but my childhood wasn't necessarily great, but it had its very light moments, and a lot of it was when I was watching a lot of the pay-per-views for WWE at the time, because the Ruthless Aggression era was absolutely in my heart the golden age for me. So with that being said, I spent a lot of those times upstairs in my brother's room, and he shared a room with my stepbrother at the time. And all of us in the household, minus, my little stepbrother and my kid sister and my baby brother, obviously didn't know shit. But we were all relatively huge fucking wrestling fans, huge. And I remember being upstairs and just fucking going in. My dad and I are not close by any means. They're, again, not to get dark, but I yeah, fucking dad left for a pack of cigs one day, never came back. But anyways, we were upstairs, and that was the one time where my dad was genuinely fucking awesome. My dad was genuinely fucking cool. And it was always when anything wrestling was involved. And I feel like for that just kind of reminds me of like the happier times of I guess my relationship with my dad, when I guess, he was kind of there in a way, I guess, physically there. But his cool way of showing his appreciation, I guess, or being, a cool dad was ordering every single pay-per-view and letting us break fucking night for that pay-per-view and not even like have to go to school the next day because the pay-per-views were on. And he was strict about school, strict about homework, all that shit.
For me, it was only the big pay-per-views I got to miss the next day.
Yeah, no, 100. We got to watch every pay-per-view. I got to stay up on Thursday nights, depending, and Mondays whenever Raw and SmackDown were on. There was Thursday nights at the time. They just moved over to fucking CW, I think. They just moved over to CW.
CW,
yeah,
not
SmackDown.
Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi was later on. It was right after. But they just moved to the CW, and they were coming off of, I think, TNT or some shit, so I just remember just being really happy, believing every storyline, and just generally marking the fuck out. I think that was the biggest thing, is I always mark the fuck out, dude. And when you're a kid, you can't contain that excitement. So when that's something that you've been waiting for, and you're genuinely thinking of all these things happening in the match, and these big fucking explosive moments happening, whether somebody's falling 50 feet off of a ladder, or somebody's fucking just getting fucked up in the middle of the ring, dude. And just the crowd, the energy of the crowd, and genuinely feeling like you're there was just so enticing. And it was like a high as a kid. Like, it was like a sugar high, I guess. I know I'm rambling the fuck on, but it was an exciting time, man. Absolutely exciting time. So I think my favorite moment was just being upstairs and my brothers were marking the fuck out of everything that was going on. The last WrestleMania I watched there was the last pay-per-view I watched there was WrestleMania 22. And that was the last big happy time. And that's ironically enough where the wrestling world took a shift in focus. And it was kind of like where the Ruthless Aggression era was kind of over in a sense.
Yeah, so with me, lots of nostalgia, history moments, when it came to the pay-per-views. But some of them that really stand out to me have had to be SummerSlam. Because, of course, it was in the summertime. So as a kid, you didn't have to go to school unless you were dumb and you had to go to summer school like Danny. But you already know friggin' SummerSlam would be on. And the cool thing that my dad would always do, we would always get the cousins, we would always get the friends, we would get everybody over,
bro,
to watch, SummerSlam. We would order a pizza, which around the time they would actually have the picture, the cover of SummerSlam on the pizza boxes, which I think was around 2005 and 2006. And then I believe around 2007 and 2008 at 7-Eleven, because I have one right near my house, we would always go to 7-Eleven, we would get the Slurpees, and they would actually have the SummerSlam cups, which were really cool.
Yeah, man.
And we would just always watch SummerSlam. And for me, the ones that really stand out to me have got to be 05 to all the way to 2009. Probably.
Abso-fucking-lutely. And like I said, a lot of my favorite matches you're going to hear me talk about tonight are on the 05 card.
We're going to be getting all into it on this episode.
Yeah, you're really going to be fucking hearing a lot of 05, because I feel like for me personally, 05 and 07 were my favorites, and we'll definitely get into that. So,
man, 2005
wherever you want to start,
was
we
one
can
of
do
the
it,
best
man.
years. That's when my childhood hero won the WWE title at WrestleMania 21.
That's when my long lost fucking technically always cousin Dave Bautista won his first World Heavyweight Championship from Triple H at WrestleMania 21. I know. I was there. I lost my shit, dude. Lost my shit. I remember having a bunk bed in my brother's room. It was one of those steel ones, and he had the fucking he had the rails on top, the side rails, all that shit. I remember just grabbing and just being like, fucking just waking the fuck out.
At one of the latest Blitzkrieg shows I went to, which you need to check that vlog out. Hornswoggle, Bautista.
Dude, Hornswoggle is
the best things ever.
Hornswoggle is like the white midget, dwarf of R-Truth, basically, in indie wrestling right now, and it's honestly kind of great. And I love his AJ Styles impersonation. Was fucking awesome on Impact. Fucking awesome, dude.
I did see that.
That shit was fucking great. But yeah, dude, what was one of your favorite SummerSlam matches?
Oh, we're going to get into the matches.
go.
Let's fucking
go, dude. What was one of yours?
All right, so one of mine, I know you were talking about it a little bit. That custody of Dominic match always really stood out, but I'm going to let you get into that one. I'm going to, give another answer. And here's one that's very underrated, I think, to this day.
Let's go.
SummerSlam 2008 for the World Heavyweight Championship, Edge versus Undertaker, Hell in the Cell.
Dude, that was a classic. I don't care what anybody says.
Murdered him, dude.
Oh my god, dude.
Live pay-per-view.
Bro, I feel like Edge could not.
Platters.
Listen, I'm an Edge mark, and anybody fucking knows that. He is my favorite wrestler of all time. However, I was fucking just marking the fuck out, and I almost felt bad for the dude because it almost seemed like he was helpless, like he couldn't do much. And like that's literally Undertaker's playground. You are in his castle. Like this is where he lives. It is Hell in a Cell. He made it great.
But you see,
and
here's
fucking
the
Mankind.
thing that really stood out to me during this. It really showed the fear of the Hell in the Cell. Like that's what makes the Hell in the Cell so nostalgia, is that fear. And in this whole storyline, Edge was trying to show that he didn't fear the Undertaker. And as soon as, SummerSlam happens, he's in that cell, the fire, the flames go up, Edge shits his pants, going through tables, and then the final spot where Undertaker chokeslammed him and he fell right through the ring.
Oh.
And then they put the flames over like the thing at the end. So Edge was like written off TV for a little bit. It was awesome because Edge at the time was the hottest heel in 2008. He was at his all-time high.
Dude,
so like for a
between
guy like
06 and 08, Edge was just a hot fucking heel, dude. He was on fire. That was some of his best fucking heel work, and it was just fluid. Like, Edge, I know this isn't just SummerSlam related. Like, I just have to give a fucking hot shout out to Edge for still being able to fucking kill it after all of this time to this day, 9 years being disqualified from ever doing it again. I'm so fucking thrilled for him. I'm so thrilled for us as fans that are able to fucking bear witness to the greatness of it.
You know, it'd be a good future episode for the talk show.
What's up?
Going over wrestlers that like had to leave for a little bit and like coming back.
Oh yeah, we could talk about Daniel Bryan, Edge, fucking even
like
CM Punk, like not even injury. Like CM Punk left for a while, he came back.
Like Christian Cage, like time
and see
away.
how they're doing,
Eventually,
and seeing how they're doing
really
now,
cool.
and then do some compare and contrast, and to also see if it worked or if it missed the mark. That'd be great. So you guys just found another behind the scenes making of another episode here on the We Are Wrestling channel. It has been fucking absolutely great.
So with Edge and Undertaker, just the storytelling by itself was absolutely awesome, and that's what made you want to buy the pay-per-view, to spend that $50.
Absolutely, dude. It was fucking... all of it's just so fucking exhilarating, dude. I can't believe, this day and age where we are as old as we are, we still get to see some of our favorites rock it. And I'm so fucking thrilled about it. And you'll never hear me live it down ever.
What's another one for you?
Like another match?
Yeah.
So I kind of still want to touch upon the Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero match.
I was just gonna ask you to do that.
I think this was also another great example of long-term storytelling. I completely, again, because it's been so many fucking years, so forgive me for having to jog my memory a little bit. I forgot how the angle had even started.
They were tag team champions, and then Eddie was getting jealous of Rey Mysterio.
I don't understand what possessed this man, or even Vince, if this was his creative idea. I don't know whose fucking idea it was. It was gold because it paid out amazingly. Like the whole crowd was feeding off of it. Like the fans itself were living for the storyline. They were there for it. I don't know who creatively came up with it, and if I should be like kind of disturbed by the fact, but it was one of those just raunchy storylines.
It's all television, man.
Dude,
it made great television.
Fucking juicy. Absolutely fucking juicy, dude. And what I loved about the entire storytelling about it is they made it genuinely so believable. Like they made they had tension building up the entire fucking time. Not even just, outer storylines, vignettes, backstage interviews, segments, what have you, matches, what have you. It was just beautifully crafted. Whoever the writer was for that needs a fucking Oscar for the writing. It was great. And Eddie, fucking rest his fucking soul. Eddie Guerrero is one of the best charismatic WWE superstars to have ever lived. Superstars in general in the wrestling community.
Easily. That right there is a definition
Bro.
of a great professional wrestler, but also sports entertainer.
Absolutely, because again,
because people really think because seriously, people think that AEW and WWE are basically the same thing. No, it's not. WWE is sports entertainment. AEW is professional wrestling. There's a difference between sports entertainment and professional wrestling.
But you also have to keep in mind, though, at this day and age in 2005, WWE was at the height and the pinnacle of everything going on, and they were a perfect blend of sports entertainment and professional wrestling. They were still very much so professional wrestling at the heart of it. Not so much anymore, but at the heart of it in 05. Everybody was still killing it and fucking pulling their hearts out, and a lot of them still are today.
Here's the thing. In 05, it really worked because you have to realize in 2002... it was 2002 when Vince McMahon said ruthless aggression, right? That was in 2002.
Yes.
Where he, wanted someone to grab the brass ring. So they built the brands, Raw and SmackDown.
Yes.
So within, from 2003, 2004, they were building Bautista, John Cena, Randy Orton, Edge, all
those
of these
guys
top guys
are the kings
so
of the
going
fucking
into
golden
2005,
age.
The payoff was perfect with having
Absolutely.
JBL and Triple H, two of the freaking heels that as a kid you generally hated.
Absolutely.
Having them as the champions for over a year and then having Bautista and John Cena win it at the same time. That is what really set the bar, and then
that's where the whole future fucking shifted forward. Absolutely.
2005 is one of the best years in wrestling.
You can't, don't at me. Absolutely. Absolutely. You cap if you think any different. But I think at this point, like I said, Eddie Guerrero is one of the, if not one of the greatest to ever to even touch a fucking mic or step in a goddamn ring, yet alone entertain thousands and millions of people around the world watching.
But here's the thing I loved about the storyline was they brought in the Foster system. They really went deep into this.
The
Dominic
vignettes,
at the park with
Eddie.
The
vignettes with fucking, and just the it felt like a fucking soap opera that WWE produced, and I honestly was there for it, dude. I think another thing,
I'm not gonna lie, I was more interested in that match going into SummerSlam over JBL and Bautista.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into those as well because those are part of some of my favorites. But I really have to give Eddie not only his in-ring shape, because undoubtedly he was in the best shape of his life here, best shape of his life. For what reasons I don't know, but he was in the best shape of his life. And even when it comes to his
one thing unfortunately with Eddie was he did do steroids a lot.
He did. I could tell. But his storytelling and acting was on fire here too. Absolutely fucking on fire. So it really sold it, and the chemistry for being long-term friends with Rey Mysterio in real life, that is a hell of a match. That's money already right there. That is absolute money, and they tore the house fucking down. From anything from Rey Mysterio's fucking jumps out the ring and knocking Eddie, to him doing the fucking leap off the top rope and fucking kicking Eddie off the ladder. Some of those moments were absolutely electrifying because those were close calls, man. Those were close fucking calls. And that's when ladders were beautifully fucking utilized. One
ladder match that really stands out to me, since we're talking about matches, 1998 SummerSlam, Rock versus Triple H for the Intercontinental title.
So this is one of your next favorites?
It's gotta be, because
let's talk about it.
Man, SummerSlam 1998, having Triple H and The Rock, two guys, this is before one of them grabbed the brass ring. This is, when The Rock and Triple H were mid-card guys. So, having them two, the leader of D-Generation X, going against the leader of the Nation of Domination, for me, really was an interesting match. I love, the intensity of that match. And this was a situation, in my opinion, that both guys looked good regardless of the winner.
Absolutely.
And they both, after that SummerSlam, really elevated their careers and they became main event stars in the Attitude Era.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I wasn't really familiar with that era, like the very early 2000s era. I started watching again around like mid 04. So I was doing a lot of backtracking at the same time, so I'm not really familiar with that, but the names sell it as it is. And I know a lot of it because I've seen a lot of the highlights now.
Match you got to go back and watch.
Absolutely. For another SummerSlam match that was another one of my favorites, had to, again, 05 SummerSlam, because if not, that is the GOATed for me. That is like one of the GOATed SummerSlams of all time. Because I want to talk about this, because this is between an icon and a legend at the time.
Ooh.
Now they're both legends.
I want to hear this.
I think you already know this is going. Again, another product of beautiful long-term storytelling, beautiful way to start the match. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, versus the fucking immortal Hulk Hogan. 2005 SummerSlam. That was another match that fucking killed the fucking house and tore it down and blew that shit up, crumbled it, rebuilt it, and blew it up again. Fucking ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure Hulk Hogan got busted open during that match pretty fucking bad. Shawn was fucking beyond exhausted. Both dudes were fucking done.
Itself, 10 out of 10. That selling was great.
Dude,
I loved it.
On top of the rope where fucking Hulk was just shaking the ropes. I was just fucking and he was getting kicked. He was just flying. Wasn't there actual animosity in that match though? That he was genuinely overselling?
Yeah, he definitely was.
Wasn't there like actual animosity? Like, wasn't there like some like tension or beef between him and McMahon or him and Hulk Hogan in real life?
No, it was him and Hulk Hogan, because Hogan, was wanted
trying to
do
make
his
himself
normal thing, make himself look good, and Michaels was like, "What about me?" But here's the thing that made it so interesting was, regardless Michaels taking it as a joke or not, it still was really good.
Absolutely, dude. And
that's how you know you're a GOAT in professional wrestling or sports.
Yeah, dude. And it's just like, those are two of, on a lot of people's fucking Mount Rushmores. You can name millions of fans that have Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan on their Mount Rushmore.
He's on my Mount Rushmore. You got
Shawn Michaels
that
is
right.
on mine as well. Not Hulk Hogan, but Shawn Michaels is on mine as well. But electrifying. Like, they started out as a tag team because I guess, remember, like, Hulk Hogan came back and I guess Shawn like came to welcome him back and all that shit. And I think they had a tag team match or something going on, and Shawn out of nowhere just fucking sweet chin music the shit out of him in the middle of the ring, and fans were just like it was just fucking ridiculous, dude. That crowd
that was really cool.
Was pissed, dude. Ridiculous heel turn of Shawn Michaels. What's up?
You know something that was awesome? Shawn Michaels' heel turn during this, I felt like was pretty cool. Like the shots he was taking at the cities and everything.
Larry King live. Oh, brother.
Even remember in Canada.
Oh, God, let me hear you something, Gene.
Bro, remember in Canada with the whole Bret Hart thing?
Yes.
Teasing that Bret Hart was going to be there?
Dude, abso-fucking-lutely. Dude, Shawn was fucking wrong for a lot of that, dude. Wrong for that, man. And it just made for great television, and it made for, again, a great fucking match, dude. That will go down in history as one of the best.
He knew how to work as a babyface, and he knew how to work as a heel. Definitely as a heel.
Abso-fucking-lutely, dude.
And you know,
even as a baby, oh, dude, fuck. I feel like everybody, arguably, has a good time playing the bad guy. I feel like anybody would arguably have a good time because it's chaos, man. Absolute
Speaking
chaos.
of Shawn Michaels, I'm going to throw another big match out here. And this might be a lot of people's favorite SummerSlam matches.
Absolutely.
Shawn Michaels' return in 2002. Him versus Triple H in that unsanctioned match.
That was after his back injury in 99 or something like that, correct?
So what happened was in 1998, Shawn Michaels faced The Undertaker at Royal Rumble. That's like where he fucked his back up. And then after WrestleMania 14, when, the Austin era begun, Michaels, got away from wrestling
for like 4 years.
He fought his demons. And then in 2002, him and Triple H had a really cool thing going on where Triple H turned heel at the time. And then, we had Michaels versus Triple H. And the thing for me about that match that really stands out is that Shawn Michaels never missed a beat.
Man, I'm telling you, Shawn Michaels, even to this day, I mean, his last match was rough. But he is one of the most electrifying human beings to ever step into the squared circle. 100%, dude. That dude could literally do it all. He could fucking do anything the heavyweights could. He could fly like a fucking cruiserweight. And mind you, he's not a short dude. He's 6'1", 6'2". That is fucking impressive. Impressive.
Well, you see here, I watched the whole documentary on this whole Shawn Michaels thing.
Before you continue, I also want to give credit to his style. He moves like water in the ring, but he has the style of an outlaw. Like, he reminded me heavily of Hangman Adam Page. Hangman Adam Page reminds me heavily of Shawn Michaels in a lot of ways.
You better do it the other way around.
Other way around, sorry. But
or else you're getting a
it's just
music.
Abso-fucking-lutely. But Shawn Michaels made that prestigious. He made the super kick like a fucking one and done. Like, or if you got up, you were fucking prestigious.
Yeah, nowadays
and you were getting
it's
put over.
Overused way.
Yeah, because the Usos fucking do it all the time. Dolph Ziggler is the best. The Dolph Ziggler is still the best. Still the best super kick seller to this day. Seller and executioner. He is the best after Shawn Michaels. 100. Those super kicks are gnarly. Did you fucking hear the one he gave to Theory on Raw? The whole fucking crowd heard it. That was the shot heard around the fucking world. It was like dude. I honestly thought they were gonna stop the show because there was a shooter. It was just fucking, dude. It was loud, bro. Like, I haven't heard a kick like that since Shawn Michaels' fucking Sweet Chin Music. He dropped this boy.
Yo, but here's the thing, man, about the documentary with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Like, I watched this on WWE Network years ago. Yes. It was like WWE Rivalries, and they showed, the history between Michaels and Triple H. And the cool thing about that was, Triple H was promising Michaels, and like, the loved ones for Shawn Michaels that like he was going to protect him at all costs. And the thing about this match was for Shawn Michaels, like, he didn't know if he still had it. So, like, if this match went south, he would have never came back to the wrestling business and had that second run, which is crazy to me.
I'm so excited.
It was an amazing moment.
Off topic, but I'm so excited for that episode to talk about individuals who had to leave wrestling for a little bit or left wrestling for a bit and came back. It's another name that I'm so excited to talk about. That's going to be an endless fucking episode, man. I do want to talk about another match, though. That match, again, is an 05 fucking SummerSlam. You can fucking sue me for it. It's Chris Jericho versus John Cena. That match was fucking brutal. That was just that had personal written all over it, even though it was just good television, because in behind the scenes they loved each other. Behind the scenes, because those two are the epitome of professional, legendary, and just safe to work with individuals. So whenever they got into a ring together, it was exciting. It was so exciting. And that was their first legitimate run-in.
This was like John Cena's first Raw rivalry. Was with Jericho.
Yes, and that was their first legitimate run-in in the circle, other than like Royal Rumbles. Like, that was their first legitimate rivalry. And Jericho at that point was already a beyond established individual, already having the accolade of fucking flopping Stone Cold and The Rock in the same night to become the first undisputed fucking WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
But here's the thing
he was already established.
Here's the thing that worked about that. The thing that worked was around the time Jericho was getting a little bit stale at the time. So having John Cena go against him and write him off WWE TV, because after SummerSlam, I believe Jericho, had a match against him and then he lost, so then he got fired, kayfabe. And like I think that elevated John Cena.
Absolutely. Not only did it put him over,
Jericho was the perfect guy.
Yeah, and Jericho, again, having all the accolades, like very early on in his WWE career, had all the accolades he already fucking did. It was a good move, too, because Jericho left to go on tour with Fozzy, because they had just released an album, and they were going on tour, and he had a lot more time to sit in the studio and shit and to support the album. So
That
yeah,
became a hit
exactly.
around that time.
Exactly. So it was good in all parties because it also, put John Cena over and started his prestigious reign on Raw as a new WWE champion, mind you, because it was in the summer of the same year he won it. So it was a very good rivalry because those two individuals beat the living shit out of each other. Again, great long-term storytelling because this was his debut after the draft coming to Raw. And that and John and fucking Chris Jericho welcomed him on Talk is Jericho.
Yep,
Not
with
Talk
the
is
number
Jericho.
one
Yeah,
pick
Talk is
in the
Jericho. Right?
lottery.
Yeah, and it was fucking great, dude. Like Jericho is one of the best to already do it, period. You can't at Jericho. Again, if you think otherwise, it's cap, 100%.
Yeah.
So to have these two now gods of the in-ring tearing down the house at SummerSlam was absolutely fantastic. And like you said, again, it worked in all parties, and both are thriving right now.
Absolutely.
And also, I do want to mention, again, sorry, shout out to Chris Jericho, shout out to WWE, and shout out to AEW for coming together, working for John Cena's 20th anniversary, where Jericho could give a shout out live on Monday Night Raw for the People's Champ. Absolutely excited for it. Sorry, had to break the wall and kind of bring the worlds together.
Break the wall.
Break the wall down. Break that wall. Sorry.
Yeah, so any other, because obviously you said that SummerSlam 2005 was your favorite. So what are some other things that really stood out to you about that SummerSlam? And then I'll get into my favorite SummerSlam.
I think the overall atmosphere of SummerSlam 05 just was right. Just the stage setups that they had back in the day for WWE and how they were constantly evolving their setups for every pay-per-view to set the tone of that pay-per-view. That always stood out to me, back in the day, just because it let me know how lit that night was going to be.
Can we go back
and
to
as a
standard
kid, it was great.
definition sometimes?
Standard definition? Absolutely, dude.
Well,
it was
because
fucking...
freaking now, we're in 8K and freaking 4D and 5D.
I'm down for it. Bring the fucking shit back other than just WrestleMania, bro. Bring the fucking stage setups back, you cheap fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
I know for a fact.
I missed the uniqueness of the
you saw the fist in the warehouse. They still have the SmackDown fist.
I'm sure they still have all the castles from Armageddon and
I guarantee they do.
All that crap.
They have everything. Everything's archived, bro. Everything is archived, including, unfortunately,
but it's
Owen
not
Hart's
HD
demise.
enough.
No, it's not HD enough, so you can't watch it nowadays.
Fucking
But
bullshit.
yeah, I think it was just the overall atmosphere, just the stat card of the night, the people that were involved in general at the time, it was just SmackDown and Raw just had stacked rosters at the time and stacked storylines going on, we got to see the demise finally of JBL and their final send off of their rivalry at SummerSlam of 05, it was great. It was fantastic.
Great.
And that I think I had to love, about SummerSlam and what else I loved about it.
Definitely got to be one of my favorite SummerSlams.
That and the fact of, again, music is everything when it sets the tone. And to have Remedy by Seether be the fucking official SummerSlam 05 theme song was incredible because that promo between Chris Jericho and John Cena was amazing. Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. For me, I gotta go, obviously 2005 is one of my favorites, definitely. Yeah. But one for me that stands out just a little bit more has gotta be SummerSlam 06 for me. 06. And here's why. 2006. Because this is when D-Generation X, finally came back together for the first time. They went against Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon. Also, we had John Cena versus Edge for the WWE Championship, which to me will always be one that, stands out to me. Also, another thing that really stood out to me was the Randy Orton and Hulk Hogan feud.
Oh my God, when they built that shit the fuck up for fucking... And
he RKO'd Brooke Hogan. Loved
Jesus,
it.
Well, that was on Saturday night's main event, right? And no, Saturday night's main event, he RKO'd fucking Hulk on over his car or something like that, his Buick or his Cadillac or some shit.
Yes.
Oh my God, dude, that fucking Jesus, you're bringing me back, my guy, bringing me fucking back. I think another. I had another SummerSlam match.
Man, like,
when you're
just in
good.
general, like, even, Chavo and Rey Mysterio, they put on a great match as well during this.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed SummerSlam 06.
Mm-hmm. So, another honorable mention for undisclosed reasons, and you're gonna know what I'm talking about. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. SummerSlam 04.
Randy Orton,
No,
youngest world champion.
well, other
that
than that,
moment.
other than that moment, when fucking Triple H, hellaciously turned on him, I want to talk about a 6-man tag match that went down that night
Okay.
between the Dudley Boys and Spike Dudley versus Rey Mysterio, Paul London, and Billy Kidman, who were the SmackDown Tag Team Champions at the time. And Rey Mysterio had his eyes on the Cruiserweight Gold, which was on Spike Dudley at the time. If not one of my favorite Rey Mysterio matches, but it's not very often that, you hear the names of Paul London being in the mix when Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio go, back, to WCW with the Filthy Animals and their heelish stable at the time. That was one of my favorite matches. Because, it was mixed with, legends going into it as it was, but it was also fun. But it's just unfortunate that Spike Dudley is just known for, the guy that gets thrown around like a fucking rag doll. But that was, dude, that was cruiserweight, high flyer, and just all around extreme city in that fucking match, dude. And Billy Kidman and fucking London were on fire as a tag team still before the rivalry went down.
You know something that really stood out to me with that SummerSlam in
What's up?
04? Undertaker versus JBL. What a
Ooh.
storyline that was.
Oh, absolutely.
Because this is around the time where the Undertaker came back as the Dead Man at WrestleMania.
After he slapped the shit out of Kane.
And JBL, of course, they wanted to, really run with the heel run. And that's what they did with, having Undertaker as, like, after Eddie Guerrero lost at the Great American Bash, Undertaker became the #1 contender. And, like, it really built the storyline up, and it really elevated JBL, I think.
Yeah, because JBL was, again, another one of those resurged characters that saved his career because, fucking Bradshaw was starting to get really stale. The APA was getting stale. So he really
Farouk
needed
retired, that's why.
Yeah, and I think he needed something else, and he went from this, fucking hick cowboy-ish, angry alcoholic fucking train to a corporate rich-ass businessman that had horns on his fucking limo and money out the ass, a whole cabinet, and fucking a WWE championship. So that was great.
I hated him as a kid. I hated John Bradshaw Layfield.
I hated him as well.
I respect
but I
the
learned
shit out of him now, though.
Oh, dude, I fucking absolutely respect Bradshaw. He's one of the best to do it, realistically, in terms of professional wrestling. I put him in like the class with like William Regal, guys like that in terms of fight style and the way that they go around the ring, and it's very the same classic
Clothesline
style.
from hell.
That dude made a clothesline prestigious. That dude whipped the. I felt genuinely horrible for whoever had to sell that move, dude, because they definitely felt that. They definitely felt that, or they timed it beautifully.
That was like freaking running into a bull.
Man, dude, that was fucking unreal. Unfucking real, bro. Yeah. I think I have to go a little farther into 07 now, because this was the year of SummerSlam Returns. The year of SummerSlam Returns, and there's 2 matches I want to talk about. I want to talk about Triple H's return. Fucking delightful. However, I'm having a massive shit fart right now in my brain. Can you remind me who his opponent was?
So, in 2007, around, I think it was New Year's Revolution. It was rated RKO versus DX.
That's and he did a spine buster and fucking landed on his knee wrong.
And then he came back at SummerSlam. I think it was against Umaga.
Dude, he was
it has to be Umaga.
Bro, he was fucking chiseled when he came back, dude. Like, it was, I mean, mind you, in 02 when he came back, he was definitely roided the fuck out because dude had boulders for shoulders. But this time when he came back, he was fucking clean cut, just in God shape, and just tore the fucking house down. And everybody was so fucking excited to see him.
It was not Umaga. It was King Booker.
Nice. Triple H. But yeah, he was just fucking resurged, electrified. He was moving better than he ever had. He left that fucking handlebar mustache to fucking bed. I was happy about it. He came
Dad
back
bod was
bearded
gone
out.
too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The dad bod was gone. Dude was just fucking stacked when he came back. But the other match I really, really, really want to cover so fucking bad. Rey Mysterio's return in 2007 after coming back from injury from his I Quit match against Chavo Guerrero.
Oh, he gets the revenge on Chavo.
In an I Quit match, and I remember when he left on that injury, and I remember back when WWE like had the exclusive looks when they would get surgery and you would see like their fucking limbs open and shit getting worked on, and I remember seeing the photos and shit and just I can handle a lot of shit like that, but I genuinely started getting queased out because seeing someone's knee wide the fuck open is not a pretty sight. It's really not.
But
And
hey,
just
the thing
he
is,
actually got
here's
injured from that
why-
match though.
But here's why it worked. Rey was hurt from Chavo, and then
Yep.
Chavo went on this massive push, and like, he was a top heel around the time. And I believe later on the ECW days, he had
Oh my
the
God, yeah.
ECW title as well.
Yeah, they pushed him in ECW, and I was actually kind of happy for him, man. Like,
And
because
then
I know
Kane
that
squashed them.
it's just yeah, dude. There was no way in hell. Actually, there was a way in hell, Kane's way. But I think something that I loved was that they pushed him in ECW. Something that I hated was Vince's typical out of the two, I only like one more. So that's like, your Matt to Jeff Hardy's, your Chavos to Eddie's, your fucking, your Edges to Christians. It's like he liked one more than the other. And that was very unfortunate. But this storyline, I'm fucking thrilled Chavo was the one to be able to do it. 100%.
Oh, definitely.
And it was obviously a personal story too.
Yeah, so now, definitely, this should definitely be our main event here for this week's episode of the We Are Wrestling Talk Show. Let's talk about some of our favorite moments. SummerSlam defining moments. There's so many through the years.
Gotcha.
It can be a heel turn. It can be, a return. It can be anything that happened during a SummerSlam pay-per-view.
Okay, so I'm going to jolt back to 2019 when Edge came back out of nowhere in Toronto. Nowhere out of Toronto. And fucking tore the house down and gave that absolutely first vicious spear back in almost 9 long years. And it felt
Didn't he
so
spear
fucking
Elias
sweet.
out of WWE?
He speared Elias though in general. Elias left in 2020 or 2021. Like September 21.
Speak with Zeke.
Yep, now we speak with Zeke. Elias walked so Zeke could speak. But that was one of my favorite moments because not only did I feel like something was kind of low key going on, like he very much wanted the fans to speculate because the hair was back. He was in really fucking good shape, like amazing shape, and you didn't even have to fucking see the dude chiseled without his fucking shirt off. Like, dude was in amazing shape. And then the spear, which Beth didn't even know like what was gonna happen. She thought he was gonna cut a promo, so she snuck to like watch him and shit and see what was gonna go down. Just off the top, heard the crowd, felt it, and just fucking went for it and did it. And Elias fucking sold it. And dude, I gotta give it to Zeke, Elias, whoever the fuck you want to refer to him as, whatever is your favorite gimmick. I'm so happy for him that he gets to interact with these stars and to be able to do these things. And like now he's having his moment to shine in ring as Zeke. But his interactions with John Cena, Edge, they have defined him, bro. Like they have that has put some major marquee on his fucking name, dude. And that's another individual I want to have have a SummerSlam moment is Elias or Zeke. 100%.
It could happen definitely down the line if they continue to keep booking him properly.
And they have been. And they have been this entire time, I have to say. Like, they've been killing it with him.
I know, I just want to see a year from now. That's all. I got to give it a year. Because sometimes these runs, they can go for 3 weeks. They can go 6 months. They can go, 90 days. You just never know.
Oh, absolutely.
So for me, one of my favorite defining moments in SummerSlam history, I got to go back to 2013.
Okay.
John Cena versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. And we had Triple H as the special guest referee. And then what happened was John Cena had that injury with the elbow, and, he didn't want to give up. So he wrestled with this really bad injury. And, Daniel Bryan, he put him over. Daniel Bryan, we all thought this was going to be his moment right here. And then the Authority makes their debut. Triple H hits the pedigree on Daniel Bryan. Randy cashes in the Money in the Bank and, takes that moment away from Daniel Bryan.
It is
to
moments
where
like
we
that
got
that
that Daniel
amazing.
Bryan moment at WrestleMania instead with a bigger payoff.
Absolutely, man.
Because for me, the Authority was so underrated around this time. I was actually a pretty big fan of them. I liked what they were doing.
I genuinely kind of fucked with it, and we got to see a small little resurgence of Joey Mercury as well.
Jamie Noble as well.
Yep, which is basically already like a mini Triple H in his own right.
Seth Rollins was being built as the future, which I loved.
And dude, Seth is another guy. He's killed every single gimmick. Corporate Kane was fucking great before we got Team Hell No.
And then Stephanie and Triple H were just doing the best friggin' work too on the mic around the time too.
Absolutely, dude. They're both already super solid on the mic, and like I'm not like obviously praising any of Stephanie's in-ring whatever, but I do genuinely like her as an individual and as a character on TV.
On Roll TV, absolutely.
I love Stephanie McMahon, dude. I love Triple H. I love the dynamic. I love what they provide. I love what they believe in. I absolutely think if we could possibly see Stephanie taking the keys to the kingdom. There's a possibility there. And if she does, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay.
I really think that Triple H and Stephanie could run WWE. I really think they can do it successfully.
Oh, yeah.
Look at
what Triple H did with NXT. Absolutely. That alone would fucking pave the way for WWE in its future, and it would be fucking money. Like, dude, it's fucking, oh my god. And SummerSlam, man, being the biggest party of the summer, it really does feel like a happy time. It almost feels as if, like, SummerSlam is one of the big ones, just like Survivor Series, WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble. It's big pay-per-views like that. The fucking almost like the 4 horsemen of the WWE pay-per-views. It's an exciting atmosphere in general. SummerSlam has some of the best moments, period. We've seen
one of them for me that really stand out. One of the happiest moments, I think, in SummerSlam history, I think, was the wedding, Macho Man and Elizabeth.
Oh my god, dude, that is
the one wedding that did not go wrong.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
British Bulldog.
That is fucking
British Bulldog in a friggin' sold out stadium in the UK beats Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship.
Dude, SummerSlam
I'm rewinding it.
Yeah, dude. Fucking SummerSlam is some of the greatest matches, moments, segments of all fucking time.
Yep. 2002, Brock Lesnar era begun. When he beat The Rock and he sent his ass to Hollywood.
Do you remember
and
when
the crowd hated him?
Do you remember when do you remember when Jon Stewart turned heel and fucking helped Seth Rollins fucking win over John Cena?
One of the stupidest moments in SummerSlam history. That match was so good. And then Jon fucking Stewart comes out and freaking ruins it.
Oh my
I hated
god,
that.
Dude. Shit was
What about
fucking
DX
incredible.
on the Tank? Remember that in 2009?
I do remember that. They brought that shit back from fucking when Raw was War, when they fucking invaded ECW. They brought it back for one of the first times in a long time.
Love that moment when they reunited.
I want to give this dude a shout out because this was a very big moment especially for the future of WWE and what it is now. And I want to give this dude a shout out because he genuinely deserves it. And where he's at right now, he's kind of killing it. So I have hope, but the Demon Finn Balor becoming the fucking first Universal Champion, that is a huge moment.
I'm so mad that he got injured during that match.
He did. And it was a very short reign because of it. But what he could have done and the what ifs is probably my biggest Universal Championship what if, is if he had a genuine reign and genuinely had time to build, prove himself, put people over, get put over, take down some of the biggest fucking names, some of our favorites, embody them. I loved that moment specifically because Finn Balor in that moment broke kayfabe out of being, the demon. And he broke kayfabe from being Finn Balor and turned straight into Fergal Devitt. He was genuinely overcome with emotions and had his moment that anybody that strives to make it in this industry dreams of having. And he was the first in history. That has to take a toll on your mental, obviously in a positive way, but you're so fucking overwhelmed in that moment. And you genuinely saw the fourth wall break for even just a second there. And that was revolutionary in our future for
You know what
WWE.
ruined the Universal Championship?
Brock Lesnar?
No, it's not even Brock Lesnar. It was Goldberg.
Yeah, he made it.
Because here's what happened. When Finn Balor, had to vacate the championship, then on Monday Night Raw, they did a fatal 4-way match to determine a new champion. And I loved what they did with Kevin Owens.
Yes.
Being like Triple H turned on Seth Rollins and helped Owens, and it created just new storylines. And then Owens had this momentum going, and even Jericho. This is when Jericho realized that his time in WWE might have been up, because him and Owens, I think, had one of the best friggin' storylines around the time. And
that's why him and Owens are really good friends.
And then what happened was they had Goldberg bury Kevin Owens. And then at WrestleMania, we got Jericho versus Owens, I think for the US belt or something, when it should have been for the Universal title.
Absolutely.
So any other moments that you could think of?
Personally, not really. I could name a million WrestleMania moments. I could name a million fucking Survivor Series moments. I could name a shit ton of other moments, but SummerSlam in that perspective really stood out for me. And I feel like another reason as to why I'm blanking out on a lot of moments is because I stopped watching for a while when it hit the PG era, for a while. So a lot of those moments, unfortunately, I missed. I even missed fucking Dean Ambrose's entire reign. I never saw any of it. So I have
Shield. You didn't watch the Shield stuff?
I started shortly after they broke up. Dean got his first reign. Seth was part of the Authority. Shit like that. It was in bits and pieces there too. I watched briefly when Stephen Amell and Stephen Amell and Stardust. That was another good SummerSlam moment.
I don't know why. I was one of them that I did not enjoy.
I enjoyed it because of what it was. I enjoyed the fact that Stephen Amell was a celebrity bring-in. I dig that Triple H was the one that put on the fucking match with him. I know that a lot of people didn't enjoy it, and it was kind of a very last-minute thing to bring Stephen Amell in general, so he didn't have a lot of time to do a lot of wrestling stuff. So he was a big fan growing up, 100%, huge fucking fan, and as a matter of fact, a Dusty Rhodes fan. So that was a big thing for him. And to have Cody Rhodes put him over was little to no brainer. That dude can fucking move and ring.
I could not stand Stardust.
I couldn't stand Stardust either, but for the gimmick it worked, and they had good chemistry. And eventually, Cody showed up in Arrow, the show, as Stardust, not with the fucking the makeup and everything, but he had this really fucking sick ass power. If you actually get a chance, check out Cody Rhodes' tenure in Arrow. He comes back in a couple seasons. And I just thought it was ultimately a cool thing in general. I thought it was just a super cool thing as a fan of Worlds Colliding. I thought it was kind of sick that we got that continuity. As a fan of both things, it was just a kid in a candy shop thing for me. And then seeing Cody on Arrow just made it even better. So for me, that was a SummerSlam like moment, I guess, for me, because it catered to me as just a fan in general of all things nerd and wrestling related.
Yeah, and like for me, one of them that, another one that really stands out to me has to be the time where Nikki Bella turned heel and she turned on her
Oh
sister
my
and
god.
helped Stephanie McMahon, beat Brie. Around the time, I actually really enjoyed Nikki Bella's heel run. I thought that she was a really good Divas champion.
See, I always love when teams that you think are going to be together forever break up. I genuinely
Me
love
too.
it. I a lot of like that is a very hot take. A lot of people don't feel that same exact way. A lot of people are very like against the idea of like some certain teams breaking up, but I genuinely love it. So when, especially when it's personal, like it's literally your twin fucking sister, I'll bite. As a matter of fact, I'm not even gonna bite. I'm a feast. Like, show me what you got. And that showed a lot on Brie Bella's behalf. Like, that showed a lot on like her range in terms of presentation, how she can work as a legitimate heel, realistically on her own. So
Yeah,
it
with
just
Nikki Bella was the heel, Brie was the face.
Oh, sorry, Nikki. Not they look the fucking same. I'm sorry that I'm mixing up the fucking
I
faces.
can tell the difference because I watched Total Divas. Before Total Divas, I cannot tell the difference
What the fuck
whatsoever.
you watching Total Divas for?
That was a good reality show, so do not come at me.
I'm adding you so bad right now. I'm gonna flame you all over We Are Wrestling that you
Why?
fucking enjoyed Total Divas. You fucking mark, and I'm the fucking mark.
Yo, they used to
And
show
I'm the
John
fucking
Cena's
mark.
house, bro.
See,
That's the only reason
awesome.
why I tuned into
Bro,
that.
that's cool. But Danny is not allowed to call me a WWE mark if I have literally never seen a fucking episode of Total Divas. I'm sorry, but at this point, you are the fucking mark in general.
I'm
You
a
are the
wrestling mark. I tell you
No.
this. When it comes
If
to
you watch
WWE,
Total Divas, you
AEW,
are a
I watch TNA
WWE
wrestling.
mark. Bro, if you watch Total Divas, if you really hop
I
down
watch
that bunny
Hogan
that
Knows
bunny
Best.
hole,
Does that make me a freaking Hogan mark?
yes, absolutely. Absolutely it does. Who was a big
You know
WWE
it's not
name,
gonna help
so
my
yes.
case right now. I did watch one season of Total Bellas.
Of fucking course you did. Of fucking course. Yeah, I'm not the fucking mark anymore. I'm sorry, breaking the fourth wall, and we're gonna go off topic. But I'm sick of being called a mark when I don't even do the most mark shit you can think of. This dude just on camera admitted to watching Total Divas, loving it, and then admits to fucking kick it up a notch.
Only
He
the
says,
first two seasons.
I saw a season of Total Bellas.
Only like 2 seasons of it I liked. All right, after they started bringing in Summer Rae and Nia Jax, I hated it.
The point is,
I
you
couldn't
watched
stand Eva
it
Marie
and
if that
enjoyed
makes you
it.
feel any better.
You watched it and enjoyed it. This is the point I'm trying. Don,
What?
you're a mark.
I am a wrestling mark. I say this all
No.
the time.
You are specifically a WWE mark after this. The fans can decide. The
Yeah, let
fans
the
can
fans
decide.
that shit.
I want you guys to comment down below. We'll put a little poll or something. Let us know if you think Don, for this reason particularly, is the biggest WWE mark. If he absolutely enjoyed any of Total Divas and then fucking hopped over to Total Bellas. Let us know in the comments down below or hit that poll. And be sure to like and subscribe and to hit that post bell notification button to be notified when another upload gets uploaded. Anyways, back on topic.
Damn. Okay.
Marketing.
Well, is there anything else about SummerSlam that we can
No,
talk
but there
about
is a lot of things I could say about your fucking WWE markness right now. I think I'm more fucking stuck on that. I think I'm more stuck on that subject right now because dude, that shit threw me way off, dude. I was not expecting that. That shit threw me way off.
Danny, I need you to come back, please, Danny.
No,
Come
are
back.
you really begging for fucking Danny right now for your fucking your misfortunes? No, you can't blame Danny on this. You're the mark this time, motherfucker. God damn.
Oh, you see, here's why I want Danny to come back. Because when he's on here, friggin' you never come at me and I never come at you. We both tag team and we come at Danny.
Oh my god. He's probably coming on himself right now just to the thought of us going at each other right now. This
Probably.
is fucking gold.
And
I
that's,
can't
like,
wait
where-
until he sees this.
This is where we definitely got to draw the line here.
Yeah,
so
we gotta draw the
let
line.
us know in the comment section below what your guys' thoughts are on your favorite SummerSlam moments and
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
Because there's so many of them. And maybe next
Can't
year
even
we'll
name
do a
them.
part 2 to this when we have more, we'll go back more into time and watch some of the old school stuff and maybe cover it. But if
Absolutely.
you guys enjoyed this week's episode of the We Are Wrestling Talk Show, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. The links are down in the description below. You can go follow Ben and I on our social medias and all of our other YouTube channels and Twitches and all that fun stuff. All the links are down below. And of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we got lots of content coming out on the way with SummerSlam. And of
Yes,
course,
we
you
do.
already know, we are taking over. Peace.
Peace.